Alright, now on to the complete September 2024 graphic novel haul. Every last comic I got in September 2024. Now this, I didn't realize until afterwards, it's 13 books. And I'm like superstitious against number 13, one of those people. But like, what had happened was I had forgotten I had gotten a book earlier in the month. Because usually what I'll do is I'll order them all at once at the end of the month. But if I get like a gift card or something, I'll order whenever I get the gift card. And unless it's so close to when I order the books, I'll just wait until then, or it's the day of. But sometimes it will happen to be earlier. In fact, there is one coming in tomorrow. It's already going to be a book for October 2024. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. First one up is Griz, Grobus. This is an original graphic novel, meaning this doesn't collect like issues 1 through 6 or whatever. It's all in one. Written by Simon Roy. Actually, it says Griz, Grobus, and a Tale of Azcon's Heart. Written by Simon Roy with artwork done by someone Pollard. That's right, I didn't tell you. Let's go here. So Simon Roy is Story is done by Simon Roy and Jess Pollard. Drawing and scripting is done by Simon Roy. Colors by Sergei Nazarov. And script editing by Jess Pollard. Logo design by Androy Lucan. And then print layout by Simon and Catherine Renta. They must mean Simon Roy. They must be missed. I don't think there's 2 Simons. There could be. But I don't know. No, I won't do that, so I'll give it publication. There you go. Alright. So, Griz, Grobus, also the artwork. Simon Roy is, like, not a writer that I've read a whole lot from him. A long time ago, I had read, spit it out, Prophet. I read his run on Prophet, and I always say, like, oh, Volume 1 was really good, and Volume 2 I dropped after that, and I was kind of glad I don't think I had the entire series. I think it just had Volumes 1 and 2. And it was one of the first books that I was like, I'm kind of glad that my library doesn't have a copy of Volumes 3 to 5, because I'm kind of sick of this series. And I wonder, because there's so many authors, it's not even created by Simon Roy. There's just so many writers that write that series, that I honestly wonder if the best issues were written by Simon Roy, and everything else I didn't like was by, I don't know, Brendan Graham or Farrell Dalrymple, right, or someone like that. That was the writer's name. I couldn't think of it the other day. Married to Routine, I just realized. So this isn't. I thought all the books I got from this month, they're all rated M for mature, but no, they're not. I think one was T plus. That was one I got yesterday. The one that's coming tomorrow. That's gonna be that's counts as October. So I know, like, back in April, I was like, oh, I got these books in May, but because I ordered them before the rest of the books came in, it counts as an April book. Yeah, well, obviously all the books are in right now, so that book, even though I ordered yesterday, and the last book didn't come in until today for September, that book I ordered last night still counts as October, because it obviously is not in today. If it came in today, I'd been like, alright, no, it counts as the 14th book. But anyways, Griz, Grobus. Spoilers for what it is, it kind of doesn't count as a comic. It's one of those, first of all, it's smaller than this, and you'll see what it is. But it's what I wanted, though. And when I was interested in, ever since I found out about it, like, earlier this week. But yes, Griz, Grobus, Simon Roy, and others. Next up, we have Dissonance. This one's written by, I'm just going to show the credits page, but Ryan Cady is a co-writer. And I found out the hard way when I was doing part 3 of the comic hauls, or whatever I called it. I probably will call it yet again, like, oh, the last comic haul of September 2024. Because I like doing that. This one collects 1 through 4 of Dissonance. Now, the artwork here, and this kind of the whole design and, like, just everything about it, wasn't, like, one I was, like, super excited for when I saw this. The main reason why I got this one is because it's one of those image books that this is the only thing that's credited, for the write. It's the only thing that the writer is credited for writing. Not Ryan Cady, obviously, the other writer that whose name I cannot pronounce. But until I found out that was a co-writer, I was like, no, let's get this book. And there you go, I did. No, I said it like that. I don't know why I said it like that. But yes, Dissonance. Killer of Demons, written by Christopher Yost. Probably the one I was most excited to get last month until I was like, let's sacrifice it. Because I think at first I was like, I don't have enough money to afford all of them. Because last month, I don't know what happened last month. Because I should have had, it was probably before my first paycheck. And I couldn't, actually I was able to put some of that in, I believe, to make it round out to that full 120. But, yeah, it was weird. I don't know what happened last month where I couldn't afford it. Not afford, but you know what I mean. Maybe it went out, people. Maybe it went out. I was when I went out to drink for some drinks. I don't know. But anyways, 1 through 3 for Killer Demons. Not that. Maybe I went down. I don't know. Anyways, 1 through 3 Killer Demons, written by Christopher Yost. And then I'm just gonna put the credits page. There's a lot of different, like as they say, they'd be like, oh, the backup covers, oh, the interior design of the ads we have in here. 1 through 3 though, not 1 through 6 or 1 through 5 as I originally thought. I swear to God, I had seen it. It was 1 through 5. Because Image was like, hey, just here's the issues themselves. But it's probably 1 through 3 this whole time. I didn't know that. But 1 through 3. So proof that they could do a 3-issue miniseries and release a trade for it, and it's not gonna be too little for a trade. So why don't we have Joshua Williamson's Overlook yet? I don't know. In trade format, at least. I don't think he's. And actually, it was a 3-issue miniseries. I thought to myself, well, maybe because it never got finished. But no, it was a 3-issue miniseries. Arrowsmith, So Smart in Their Fine Uniforms, Volume 1, written by Kurt Busiek, and with artwork done by Carlos Pacheco. And then Jesus Marino is the inker. Alex Sinclair is the colorist, and that's it, because we already went over artist. I don't usually go over letterer. The only thing I mentioned with the letterer is there's a bunch of them credited. It's not just one person. I think it was like 3 or 4 or something like that. It's kind of crazy. So Kurt Busiek, like I said in part, well, I shouldn't say like I said, this is probably the video that some of you guys wait for, so you'll have to keep watching like the same, don't watch part 1 and part 2 and part 3 is all at one. But I mentioned when I showed this off just recently that Kurt Busiek is not like a huge he's not one of my favorite writers. In fact, I think he's kind of a bit overrated. There's things the books that he's written that everyone is super crazy about. The only one I can agree on them with is Marvel's. Everything else, I'm like, I didn't really like that. His Avengers Forever, I read issue 1 thanks to a $1 reprint, Trubileer reprint from Marvel a few years back, which do they do that anymore? I don't know if they do. I think recently they did, but that was facsimile edition. I think it's facsimile edition. I'm gonna get confused with. But they would have when Spider-Man Far From Home came out, they gave you an issue of Spider-Man in London from the Silver Age. It was really damn good, I might add. They gave you the first appearance of this character and that character. Those $1 reprints, so they're really affordable, full issue. But of course, it was a reprint. They didn't even do oh, here's the original ads from when it released way back when. No, it's the ads that we have now. But still, a really nice gesture, and they haven't done that in a long time. I don't think, at least. Again, I'm not getting single issue floppies anymore. Thus, I don't really look into solicits. But every now and then I will. I did recently, as I found out that we're getting a facsimile edition of, I think it was 265 Amazing Spider-Man. Every now and then I am tempted to get back into the floppy game, but then I remember how many trades I've been able to get instead, and I'm like, you know what? In that case, I'm out. How's that quote go? And just like that, I'm out. Something like that. That's basically me. This is 1 through 6 of Arrowsmith, and then the flip book one shot. And I showed the artwork already, but I'm gonna show it again. Now again, I do think this is a book that wasn't always from Image. Because a trade came out recently, and I thought, oh, this is a recent series. And no, at least this isn't. I think it was 2003, 2006. Maybe Image came out with their own reprints. I don't know. For floppy form. Because, it's actually looking up right now. Because I swear to God, they had this one, an Arrowsmith book. and that was like the most recent thing that I credited for Grobus. Go here. And he also has a series coming out right now called Free Agents. So it's Arrowsmith, Astro City, Superstar, Autumnlands, and what's really annoying is this book called Wizard's Tale that you can't get trade-wise. You can't get it from Image themselves. It's owned by DC Comics. Don't ask me, Willie. Yeah, you have this now. Behind Enemy Lines, 5 to 6, May 25th, 2022. And issue 6 was June of 2022. But I swear to God it said, I don't know. Yeah, I almost freaked myself out. It's like, wait, is there a volume 3? But no, there's not. Because that's what volume 2 is called. Wait, no, this is Behind Enemy Lines. This is volume 2. Oh, they put it away. Sorry. So this is volume 2, Behind Enemy Lines, collecting 1 through 6, as we said, of Enemy Lines. But nothing else. So no flip book here either. No flip book here, unfortunately, for volume 2. Now, as I've mentioned before, and will continue to mention, because everyone's video is their first video, and this isn't just something I mentioned, in part 3 of the comic call. No, I've mentioned this, like, nearly every time it comes up. If there's a volume, and also in a live stream, everyone attended. But when it comes to books that I got 2 volumes of or more, I only show the artwork for volume 1. Like if I like for Wicked and Divine, if I had gotten all 9 volumes at once, I just would have shown the artwork for volume 1, not volume 2. That's just in case there's a huge spoiler at the end of volume 1, and then volume 2, like it's like a gravestone, like a character dies at the end of volume 1, and then volume 2 is their gravestone. And for me and also you guys, I don't like doing that because it could be just as much a spoiler for me as it is for you guys. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is. I just realized I put this in front of the other Grobus book, and that wasn't smart. So these other two volume series from Grobus, one I wasn't super crazy about, but I did want to do the library hat. Now I have it, and this is in the realm of significant comics that the library had, and I read them. They're from Image. I'm collecting books from Image anyways, so screw it, let's just get it. That whole thing. Usually, for Wicked and Divine, it's a great example of why I do it in general, because I really like Wicked and Divine. It's actually my favorite Image book of all time. So even though the library has all 9 volumes, there's no news of it coming back. The series is done what they told every last story they wanted to tell for Wicked and Divine. So no volume 10, or not even like one shot or anything like that. So they have every last volume at my local library. Again, intro loans. They wait a little bit, but not too long. Even all that being said, I'm still like, hey, I want to own this series myself, so I'll buy it myself. I'll buy it myself, you know. I don't mind doing that. But books like this, it's usually like I didn't really like this series, but I liked it enough, and it's just like significant enough. Like it's usually do you remember where you were when you read this book? First read this book, I do remember where it was. I remember like some certain details, like more details than usual, other than I read this before and I read this before, that kind of thing. But anyways, Autumnlands Volume One, Tooth and Claw, collecting 1 through 6 of Autumnlands. Thanks for following, book. Let's just hit it. I'm kind of in like an annoyed mood because you'll see why in a second here. Basically, there's a book that I thought was all in one, but there's more than should be 3 volumes. It's only 1 volume because it's a 12-issue series, and I found out the hard way because it's an older book. Autumnlands Volume 2, Woodland Creatures, collecting 7 through 14 of Autumnlands. And that book is so old, I can't even get it on yeah, I can get the floppies, but I can't get it like on Kindle or other digital platforms. But Autumnlands Volume 2, Woodland Creatures, I just realized that should be artwork for Autumnlands, because the book fell and I got distracted. And that was me prattling on about the whole thing about why I bought this book, not crediting it, what do you call it? Defending myself, but what's the word you use? There's also it's just in general, this when I think of fantasy, the design of this book, it seems to be classic fantasy. Going so far as this design, right? This whole thing just reminds me of fantasy in general. I don't know why, but just it wasn't terrible. I did like it better the second time I read it, but it's Grobus is never gonna be a favorite author of mine. But this was one I wanted to buy myself. to own myself. But don't think I'm gonna get anything else from Kirby's Egg anytime soon. Maybe I'll get Wizard's Tale, but I'll probably wait till there's a sale on that on Kindle. Even then, I'm not losing sleep about not having everything he's done, even all of his fantasy work from Image. So I'm sure there's more than just that. Then we have Kill Your Darlings, collecting 1 through 8 of Kill Your Darlings. One that I just been waiting for, but kept having to sacrifice it because I want to get other books. Last month, I think it was just I just didn't have enough money because I didn't want to get all the Joshua Williamson books, but I also wanted to get no, it was all in one, wasn't it? Because I got Berserker. Yeah, no, because Berserker and Planet Paradise I got after thanks to a gift card. So yeah, at first it was like exclusively all Joshua Williamson. Like I couldn't afford to get anything else other than that. Unless I had a gift card, which I was gracious enough to be given. Wow. Yeah, so didn't even have enough, had 0 room, so I had to wait until this month at least to get Kill Your Darlings, and I finally have it. It's the series that Comic Pop has talked about. What's really annoying is you have to go to the search bar in their YouTube channel. You can't search up on YouTube Comic Pop Kill Your Darlings or Comic Pop Ethan S. Parker, who writes the series. And so only comic is credited with writing also, so there's a huge plus. And also, Griffin Sheridan is also credited for writing the story. Co-author. Bob Quinn does the artwork, and letters and design is John J. Hill. I said that, I know you don't usually credit the letterer, but it's all for design, so I guess I felt the need to. Subconsciously, because I'm complete autopilot mode. Yes, impeccable artwork, my kind of story. It's like seems to be modern fantasy. A lot of people like it. It's like Matthew Rosenberg, Galen Warren Johnson, Chip Zdarsky, Jed McKay, and Brian Michael Bendis all get this little blurbs. I do think they'd all be positive blurbs. Unless it was Man-Eaters. I think even then it wasn't. It was from Bill Oak of The Simpsons. I think he was being sarcastic. I couldn't tell. But also, I could completely see Chelsea Kane doing that to expose him, and all that. But I think it seemed like it was satire. And honestly, Man-Eater is kind of, what he said about it was kind of like, it kind of is how I feel about the book. Everybody was being sarcastic about it. I didn't actually mean what I said, but being sarcastic about it. Because Man-Eater is the ultimate guilty pleasure. Like, I'm so glad I have it in my collection, so I can read it whenever I want to now. The ultimate guilty pleasure. Honestly, a lot of what Chelsea Kane has written has been my ultimate guilty pleasure. Like, I actually like her Mockingbird. Again, so bad it's good kind of way. Like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is actually published. That kind of thing. It's a great example of maybe that side of YouTube is right when they complain about stupid shit in comics. And just in modern cinema and modern entertainment in general, maybe they have a point. We're 18 minutes long. Okay. But yeah, Kill Your Darlings 1 through 8. So this one is next up. This one that's coming up. Why did that sound so awkward? I don't know, but this one is the one I forgot about that I bought earlier this month, which is weird because this one took forever to come in because Amazon actually lost the first copy of this book, and I had to get it again. And that is Bear Pirate Viking Queen, written by Sean Lewis with artwork done by John Marks Barevechia. I don't know, but the artwork is pretty damn good. Like it's definitely unique. And Sean Lewis has written The Few, and ever since I've read that series, which is also through Image, I also obviously own now, the library had it. Ever since I've read The Few, I have been like a lifelong Sean Lewis fan. I've bought this. I won't buy his Spawn. His Spawn I don't count. Just in general, I don't count Spawn spin-offs, no matter who's writing them, as books I need to get by that author. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I have every last thing Sean Lewis has done for Image, because I'm not including Spawn. That's why I've not gotten anything from Spawn, even though there's a bunch of authors that have written for Spawn. The same thing for The Darkness and Witchblade, mostly because The Darkness and Witchblade, it seems like eventually, like maybe 10 years down the line, but eventually they will have collected everything from Darkness and Witchblade up until the most recent reboot. because and then also the complete collections do seem to be collecting like spin-offs and one-shots and stuff like that. So it's an official like 100% complete collection, like through every meaning of the word kind of thing. But anyways, 1 through 3 of Bear Pirate Viking Queen is collected in here. You can tell each issue was longer than your average 30-page, your average single issue size or single issue length. Next up, we got the Weatherman of Volume 3, which collects the all 7 issues of Weatherman Volume 3. This one I will show the artwork for because I obviously did not get volumes 1 and 2 in the same month, but should not be too much of a spoiler from the artwork here. And this one is written by Jody LeHeup, with artwork done by Nathan Fox and Moreno Denizio being the colorist. Now, this one is one of those series that's just recently Image Comics has been like, hey, a series that's been on hiatus, we're bringing it back. They did it with Weatherman finally. They're finally doing Snock Girl. I think there's another one I can't remember off the top of my head. Saga they did a while back. I'm talking like recently, but then the last like year or so, like less than a year or so. This came out actually. This did come out this year. So within the past year, they've been doing that a lot recently. And I want to say it was more than twice. I can't think of any others. Actually, I can. I hate Fairyland, but that was last year. But it's recently I've been like, hey, the series has been on hiatus forever. Here, we're getting it back. And yeah, okay, it could have been also the authors, coincidentally enough, were like, okay, now we get it published. I think Snot Girls took forever because it wasn't selling too great. Like after like every issue was selling less and less, and they're hoping now that that's been on hiatus for a long time, and there's been a little bit of a cult following for that series, thanks to me, because but then now people are more interested in it. It's written by this guy. It's written by the original writer, the creator of Scott Pilgrim. So you would think it's all the guy had to say, and then it would sell like hotcakes. Maybe it was just issue 1 that sold like hotcakes, and after that it started going down. That's my hypothesis. It's not a bad series either. Like I would not call it a terrible series or disappointing at all. Like all the criticism I can understand, but I'm like, no, I don't agree at all. But Weatherman Volume 3. Next up we have Voyagis by Sumai Kessing. Actually, I guess they pronounced that name right. I assume this is 1 through 5. It wasn't telling me, but yeah. Now, unlike Dissonance, where I was kind of disappointed with the artwork and the overall design of this book, this right off the bat, like this is my kind of artwork for indie books. I don't need everything to be like Alex Ross-ass painted artwork or look like be Santa Takeda or anything like that. Sometimes I just want artwork that seems like it's from an indie publisher and it gives that indie feel, like that classic indie feel. And Dissonance does too. Like nothing wrong with Dissonance. It was just I wasn't so crazy with the design and the artwork and everything about that for Dissonance. But Voyagis Volume 1 of 1. I actually don't think they even say Volume 1. They do not. All right, Voyagis. Now on to the book that I'm super disappointed with. This is Paradigm of Volume 1, Siege to an Interlude, written by Matt Cashel with artwork done by Jeremy Huon. This collects 1 through 4 of Paradigm. Now, when I bought this book, I was like none the wiser, because all that was credited under Matt Cashel's Amazon page was this book, and only this book. Now, none the wiser is an older Image book, so there's no way of knowing there's more issues afterward. This is a 12-issue maxi series, and there's no Volume 2 or 3. There was a Paradigm Volume 2, and I thought, uh-oh, that's it. It is this book, but it's not. It's poetry. It's weird. It's an anthology of poetry. But yeah, 1 through 4 is only collected in here. I don't know what to do for the rest of the series, but whatever. I got this off a third-party seller, so I didn't pay full price. And that's not like there is a Volume 2 and 3. Which, again, I don't know why there's not, but at least on the Amazon there's not. And actually, I did actually, that's how I found that poetry Paradigm book. I actually did look it up on the internet itself, not on Amazon, and I still didn't find it. It's weird. And the reason, and how I found that out, that it was 12 issues, well, I was looking up my comic shop to make sure, hey, if it's 6 issues, okay, 6 issue miniseries, and I saw 12 issues, I'm like, damn. But next up, and last and certainly not least, is the completed Saucer Country, written by Paul Cornell with artwork done by Brian Kelly. And this was a book that I heard about a while back, and I will admit, basically here's the artwork. Basically, the only reason why I got this book is because how thick it is. This collects all of Saucer County, all of what came out before, and then the recent one-shot to conclude the series once and for all. But Cy Spurrier, Al Ewing, Jackson Lanzing, and Kieran Gillen, half of which I actually like as authors, I'll get praise. Jackson Lanzing, I actually think I like more than Cy Spurrier. Cy Spurrier is not terrible. Actually, I've read at least one book from each author here that I've liked. Cy Spurrier, I liked his Hellblazer and his Suicide Squad book. Al Ewing, I liked his Rocket book, I believe. I think both of them were good. Yeah, both of them were good. Actually, I like that one more than Scotty Young run. Jackson Lanzing, I can't think off the top of my head, but I know there was one I liked by him, but he also did that He also did that atrocious Miles Morales series, I believe, along with whoever he is butt buddies with. I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean he's always writing the book with him. Kind of like how Dan Slott and Christos Gage are basically the same person at this point, because of how much because of every book they write together, unless it's Absolution. Then Kieran Gillen, of course, like Wicked and Divine. Like I think Kieran Gillen's book is a regular. I only read one thing by him I haven't liked, and that's his Eternals. And that I think I just need to give it a second chance to, because I had way too high expectations, and they were let down when the book ended up being a lot slower than I thought it would be. So I think I need to give it a second chance. And I don't know, they have it on Prime anymore, because I know Volume 1, I never bought Volume 1 myself, or bought the first 6 issues, because they had them, the Volume 1 was on Prime Reading. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get it there anymore. For whatever reason, Amazon has been having, or the publishers themselves have been having some sort of weird purge of books from Kindle, from Prime Reading. Kindle Unlimited, you can get it there, but let's go to my actual account, so it will tell me, yes, you can read this for free. Because for whatever reason, it won't tell you right off the bat. I think recently have been, so I'm like, can begin to get my hopes up. But let's see, paste and go. Nope. I had to buy it myself at this point. Why? My mom was saying the other day, she was like, hey, why don't you just get Kindle Unlimited? You have a job now? I was like, alright, I might. The problem with that is that I don't think I'd ever go to the library again, so it's even more of a plus. I'm not a digital reader, though. I don't like, if I have to, unless I have to, I don't like buying books digitally. Borrowing, like, Prime Reading and everything, they get them for free, sure, but, like, I like me some physical books. I don't like having a bunch of digital copies. I had to do that with the last few issues of Nowhere Men and They're Not Like Us, both written by Eric Stevenson, because it was one of those series that got canceled after a while. And unlike Paradigm, I actually had those last two issues on the Kindle, but it got canceled. Both series got canceled. One was issue 16, and the other was after issue 11. Issue 16 was the much better book, They're Not Like Us, but Nowhere Man only had 11 issues. Thank God, because I didn't really like Nowhere Man. I only got Nowhere Man because it's like, when even though I didn't like it, it still lasted what I need for Eric Stevenson, for now at least. So, for the most part at least. I just get that, you know. I know he's done other things, but it's never been published. Like, they never had, like, an official trade release of it. And some of it's Youngblood stuff, and again, it goes by my Spawn rule. I don't need it. I don't count it as an Eric Stevenson book. But that, as I say, is that. 13 books, but whatever. It's a number, you know. And honestly, each and every last book I got, I don't regret getting, except for Paradigm. But even Paradigm, like, I don't know. Because there is another book I've refused to get because of the same reason of half the series doesn't have a trade release or Kindle release or anything. So I have to, like, just put up with it, but even Paradigm I can't find anywhere. I couldn't even find it on illegal websites, which is the one and only time I will condone going to that avenue, is because they don't have it anywhere else. Like, you can't find it anywhere else. Like, literally can't find it anywhere else. And screw going through, like, eBay or my comic shop for that. You might as well just decide to just bite the bullet and go that route. Yeah, why 1 through 4? I don't know. At least it would have been nice if it was at least issues 1 through 6. You know, it was half the series, but whatever. But that is... Oh, so this one collects... Saucer, this one collects 1 through 14 of Saucer Country. Then Saucer State 1 through 6. And then Saucer Country, the finale one-shot. I do keep accidentally saying sometimes... I think actually I said it already. I kept accidentally saying Saucer Country. Sorry, I keep saying Saucer County, not Saucer Country. For whatever reason, I keep saying Saucer County instead of Saucer Country. It's Saucer Country. So yeah, I already messed myself up there. I still, what should we call it there? Table of contents. Even though I only have a page that I know I just the artwork. There it is again. But that, as I say, is that. And yeah, I got this one because it's a thick trade for only $30, although even by image standards, it's kind of expensive. No, I wouldn't say kind of expensive. It's not expensive at all. I was trying. What I meant to say was that like it's not like a super huge big deal, like discount deal. Yeah, if it was from Marvel, I'd still be singing their praises. But image, that's kind of like it's normal. But whenever that happens, I do tend to want to get the book more, regardless of who's writing it or what the book's about or the critical reception or anything like that. In fact, but at least here, Paul Cornell is a writer I do like. I do remember liking his Black Widow run. And I'm sure there's other stuff I read by him that I like, but I just can't think of off the top of my head. I think there actually is, but again, I can't think of it. Didn't he do that Marvel book that I had never heard of because it wasn't like a big name? It was like that. So weird. It's almost like they were going. I think they were trying to do like their own indie series that was completely disconnected from the Marvel universe. Let's do Paul Cornell Omnibus, maybe Marvel Omnibus. Well, that could get in. Like, this is a series. Nope, not Death of Wolverine, not Young Avengers, not She-Hulk. Great. So I can't think of what it was. I swear to God, it was by Paul Cornell. Marvel Omnibus, I'm not gonna get though. You just do Paul Cornell Marvel? That's my other choice. But he's done a lot for Marvel. It's gonna take a long time. Death of Wolverine. Oh, this is it, by the way, guys can leave. I'm fine. Find out what that book is. This is the post-credits scene, if you will. I do wonder what the first movie to do I do wonder what the first movie to do a post-credit scene was. It's an older movie than I thought it was. I think it would be. I'm not expecting anything from like 2000. I'm not expecting anything from like 1940 or whatever, but I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be completely surprised if it was from the 80s. It might have been. I don't know. It's a Wolverine. Oh, it was. I get my book also. I'm kind of far behind. I don't have. I'm just super stutter. I don't have a whole lot to read, but I still want to get them done sometime today. Because it's one of those times where like I have less and less to read because I've been finishing books. So I have like at most like 6 books to read, but 2 of them are pretty long issues. And that's it though.